Greg. My name is Matt. We're with Wesley Truck Driving School. We're going to do the pre-trip inspection on this truck. And to start it off, Greg's going to get it, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Okay. Okay, we're starting at the front of the tractor. We have 5 clearance lights at the top. They're amber in color. They're properly mounted secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They function properly. We have the windshield seal, the rear view mirrors and mounting brackets. I covered those in the in-cab inspection. My hood is free of any body damage that would put me out of service. My hood, rear view mirror, and mounting bracket is properly mounted secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, and it is adjusted to me. My grille and bumper are properly mounted secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken, and they are free of debris. My fog lights are clear in color. They're properly mounted secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken, and they function properly. My headlamps are clear in color. They are my high and low beams. My amber colored lamps are my turn signals, running lights, and hazard lights. All those lights are properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and they function properly. My license plate is properly mounted and secured. It is up to date and clearly visible. Underneath the tractor, I don't see any puddles or dangling wires or hoses that would indicate any leaks or any issues within the engine compartment. Now we're going to go over to the passenger side of the trailer, of the tractor. We have our tailpipe, muffler, and exhaust line with the heat shield. The heat shield has upper and lower mounting brackets. I don't see any rust or shiny metal that would indicate they were loose. So the heat shield is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and functions properly. Follow the exhaust line up to the turbo. We're here at the turbo. The turbo is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, and it does not leak. Functions properly. All of my electrical harnesses are properly mounted secure. They function properly, and I have no bare wires showing. My hard lines, boots, and soft lines, and hoses rather, are properly mounted secure. They function properly, and I have no leaks in any hoses or my boots. This is my AC pump. It is belt driven, it's properly mounted secured, it's not cracked, bent, or broken, and functions properly. My alternator is properly mounted secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and is also belt driven and functions properly. My water pump is gear driven. It is properly mounted secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and does not leak. My belt is not cut, torn, or frayed, and has no more than 3/4 of an inch of play. Okay, on the driver's side, we have 3 reservoirs. We have our coolant reservoir, our windshield wiper fluid reservoir, and our power steering reservoir. All those reservoirs are properly mounted secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They do not leak. They're filled to the proper level. I know that because I checked them myself. All 3 of those reservoirs also have good caps and seals, and they do not leak. All my electrical wiring and harnesses on this side of the engine are properly mounted secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken, and there are no bare wires showing. My air lines and valves are properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and they do not leak. My power steering pump and lines, that is gear driven. It's properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and does not leak. My compressor and my governor is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. None of those lines or the main units themselves leak. We have our oil filler tube. It is properly mounted secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It has a good cap and seal and does not leak. That's where I add my oil. My dipstick is where I check the oil. It is properly mounted secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and does not leak. And I have the proper amount of engine oil in there. It is between add and full. I know that because I checked it myself. My steering column and gearbox, steering box is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It is properly greased and does not leak. My pitman arm, drag link, upper and lower control arm, and my tie rod is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, properly greased, and they are held together with the proper castle nuts and cotter pins. My air chambers and lines are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, function properly, and do not leak. My slack adjuster, my
your torn boot,
slack adjuster and
push rod,
thank you, is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and my push rod is adjusted between 1/2 to 1 inch. My brake assemblies, all my brake assemblies are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, function properly. I have no deep grooves in my brake drum. My brake pads have more than 1/4 inch of material on them. My leaf springs, mounting brackets, U-bolts, all the nuts and bolts and spacers are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. I'm not missing any leaf springs or parts or nuts or bolts. This is my rim. It is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. Has a good bead around it, does not leak. There are no illegal holes or welds in the rim that would put me out of service. All my lug nuts are accounted for. There's no shiny metal or rust that would indicate any leaks. My valve stems are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. They do not leak and they are not touching the rim. My hub assembly and gasket and my filler cap are all properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. They do not leak. And I have the proper amount of 90-weight gear oil in there. I know that because I checked it myself. This is the driver's side of the truck. There's no body damage that would put me out of service. My door, my rear view mirrors, handles, latches, locks, and hinges I talked about in the in-cab inspection. This is my gas tank, hanger, straps, and steps. They're properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. They function properly. My steps are free of debris. I have a gas cap with the proper seal. It does not leak. It's properly mounted, secured, functions properly. And I do have enough fuel in my tank for the trip today. This is the area between the front of my trailer and the back of my cab. I have 2 amber colored clearance lights on top. They function properly. They are properly mounted, secured. This is my service light. It's clear in color. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and functions properly. My catwalk, my steps, and my battery box are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, function properly, and they are free of debris. Inside my battery box, my batteries are free of corrosion. They have the proper connections. They do not leak, and there's no bare wires showing. My frame, my entire frame, is properly mounted, secured. It is free of illegal holes or welds, and I'm not missing any bolts or nuts. My drive shaft, my axle, and my torque bar are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. They function properly. I'm not missing any nuts or bolts, and nothing leaks from the axle. My leaf springs, hangers, U-bolts, and spacers are all properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. They function properly. I'm not missing any leaf springs or nuts or bolts or any parts. My brakes, my brake assemblies are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. My drums are free of debris and they don't have any deep grooves. And my brake pads have more than the minimum of 1/4 inch of material on them. Right here we can also see our air ram and lines. It is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It does not leak, and it is in the locked position. What? My rear drive tires, they can be recapped, and they have at least 2 30-seconds of tread depth on them. There are no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. And they are filled to the proper PSI of 100 PSI. In between my rims, I have no daylight shown, and it is free of debris. Here we have our brake hub assembly and gasket. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It does not leak. If I needed service on this hub assembly, I would have to have that done by a certified mechanic.
My valve stems are not cracked, bent, or broken. They're mounted and secure, and they function properly, and they do not touch the rim. Like he said, it has 100 pounds of PSI. I know this because I checked it myself. My rear axle is the same as my front axle. The difference between my rear axle and my front axle is this one is air supplied. This one is air and spring supplied. Would you like me to go over my rear axle?
No, thanks.
Underneath my trailer. Underneath my trailer, I see my fifth wheel and slide, and mounting. So my fifth wheel, my slide, and my mounting bolts are all mounted and secure. Nothing's cracked, bent, or broken, and it functions properly. I am not missing any nuts or bolts. My apron and between my apron and my fifth wheel, I see no daylight that will put me out of service. My locking jaws are clamped tightly around my kingpin. I know this because I see it, and my service arm is in the lock position. Here I have my reverse light, which is clear in color. It's mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. It functions properly. My tractor tail lights are red in color. They have 4 functions: my turn signals, my emergency lights, my hazard lights, and my stop lights. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're mounted and secure, and they function properly. My landing gear, my cross member, my crankshaft, my legs and my feet are not cracked, bent, or broken. They're mounted and secure. They function properly, and my feet have no debris. My subfloor, there's no missing parts. I have my cross members. There are no missing cross members that will put me out of service. On the side of my trailer, I have an amber running light on the top front and red in the rear. My side marker running lights are red in color in the rear and amber color in the front. They're all mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and they function properly. The side of my trailer has no body damage that will put me out of service, and my DOT stickers are all mounted and secure.
Okay.
My trailer
Frame?
I'm sorry, you think?
It's okay.
My trailer frame is not cracked, bent, or broken, it's mounted and secure, and it has no legal welds that'll put me out of service. My trailer axle is the same as my front axle, but they have a few differences. The first, it's air supplied, it's torque and torsion, and it's freewheeling. My hub assembly and gasket has my hub assembly and gasket has
Sight glass.
I'm sorry, thank you. Has a sight glass. It's full to the proper level. I know this because I checked it myself with 90 weight gear oil. Would you like me to go over my rear axle? My trailer, I have 5 clearance lights up the top, which are red in color. They're mounted and secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They function properly. If I had a sliding door here, it would be mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. It would function properly. But this door is proper, and it will not put me out of service.
That picks up your fingers, man.
My DOT stickers are mounted and secure, and they function properly. My pit tow hook is in the lock position. It's mounted and secure. Bolts are not missing, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it functions properly. My tow chain guard is mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, then it functions properly. My air service supply lines for the rear of my trailer, they are capped off, but they're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're mounted and secure, and they function properly. They do not leak. My license plate light is clear in color. It is mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, and it functions properly. My license plate is mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, and it is up to date. My rear tail lights, they carry 4 functions as well too. The first function is it's my hazard lights, my turn signal lights, my stop lights, and my running lights. They're all red. They're red in color. They're mounted and secure. They're not cracked, bent, and broken. They function properly. My bumper, it has the DOT stickers on it, which are assembled correctly. They're mounted and secure. They function properly. My mud flaps and hangers, they're not frayed, torn, cut, or cracked. They are both mounted and secure. And they should be at least 2 to 6 inches off the ground, so they function properly. This is the passenger side of my trailer. It's the same as the other side of my trailer. Would you like me to go over this side? Let's ask that. If you haven't missed anything, oh, I'm sorry, this is my landing gear handle. It's in the lock position. It's mounted and secure. It's not missing any bolts, and it functions properly. At this time, I've completed my pre-trip inspection.